But the defense minister did finally say that the German troops are operating under warlike conditions, Andrew Denison. Isn't that actually, so to speak, a step forward, given what the German government had been saying in the past?
I think it's a step forward. It's interesting here in Germany, in front of the Brandenburg Gate, to think about some of the ironies involved in this case. You mentioned that Germans are reluctant to call their 4,000 troops in northern Afghanistan warriors, that they're engaged in war, even though, of course, they come under fire, and at times also have to return that fire. Now, warlike situation, whatever, okay. Another irony, though, Germany has always been accused of having rules of engagement that are very much oriented towards protecting its force, as opposed to going out and meeting people, that are not oriented taking proactive action against Taliban formations. And all of a sudden, here we see Germany doing the opposite. And General Stanley McChrystal, yes, the commander of American forces and NATO forces in Afghanistan, the next day, he went out to that river, even though the Germans said it's dangerous, waded through the river, looked at it and said, my God, we shouldn't be killing civilians.
He was, in fact, not satisfied with German compliance with NATO's new rules of engagement. Is that right?
He said his main message was, let's get in ahead of the news cycle and say this was a mistake that civilians got killed. He wasn't willing to prejudge Klein in concrete terms, though he expressed frustration and probably behind the scenes.
Klein being the German officer on the scene.
The German colonel on the scene. Now, the final irony is that the local political officials were reported in the United States and elsewhere as having applauded, welcomed this attack, saying a couple more attacks like that, and we won't have this Taliban problem that has arisen in the north in the last half a year or so. I think it's also important when the world looks at what's going on here, Germany has to ask, does it want soldiers out there? And if it does it want to equip them properly? Because it seems to me one of the big problems is Mr. Klein did not have his own surveillance. He didn't have his own airplane flying around. There were gaps where he could not see. He also didn't have enough crisis reaction forces to go in quickly, which is the standard procedure that NATO doesn't bomb from the air. You send troops in. But he didn't have those troops.
I think Andrew has a key point here.